The story opens in the dead of winter on a road stretching through gray skis and frozen fields. Danny wakes up in the passenger seat of a moving truck, her forehead cold against the window, the reality of her family's relocation settling over her like the snow blanketing the ground outside. 7 hours of driving have brought her and her mother from Minot to a small town in Minnesota, Southview, a place she once knew and once loved, though that love was tangled with a boy named Alec and a grandfather who'd once cut them out of his life. Danny is not happy to be back. She's sarcastic, freezing, and confused about why her mother insists this is a good idea. California made sense, Minnesota in February did not. Her mother insists she'll grow to love it again, that she'd loved it when she was younger, but Danny knows the truth. What she'd loved back then wasn't the place. It was Alec Barksiewski, her childhood best friend, the boy who'd ghosted her years ago after what felt like a lifetime of postcards and promises. As she steps out into the icy wind, every part of her resists this new beginning. The move feels like a punishment, not a fresh start. The cold bites, the air hurts, and the house that greets them, her grandfather's house, is loaded with memories she'd rather not unpack. It's where her parents fought with her grandpa after her grandmother's funeral, where the man who used to call her Danny Girl had turned on them and slammed the door on their family. And now, they're supposed to live with him again. Her mother tries to make the best of it, but when they arrive, the driveway is empty. Grandpa Mick isn't even home. He's off helping a friend with his boat in the middle of a Minnesota winter, an excuse so absurd Danny can barely hide her disbelief. Still, her mom soldiers on, insisting they can unload the truck without help, promising pizza and even a pony if Danny will stop complaining. When they finally enter the house, Danny's irritation softens for the first time. The upstairs has been completely transformed. What was once an old-fashioned, cookie-scented home has become a sleek apartment, warm wood floors, white brick fireplace, sunlight flooding through the windows. It's modern, comfortable, and shockingly beautiful, clearly renovated by her grandfather's own hands. For a moment, both she and her mother fall quiet, awed not only by the space but by what it suggests, an effort perhaps from a man who once shut them out. The silence is broken when a voice calls her name from outside. She turns and nearly doesn't recognize the tall, well-dressed guy standing in the snow. It's Benji Worthington, King Douche, as Alec used to call him, a childhood neighbor who had once treated Danny and Alec like they were beneath him. But now Benji, or Ben, as he insists he's called, is smiling, charming, and offering to help her carry boxes. He's older, taller, annoyingly handsome, and apparently proud owner of a Maserati SUV parked outside. The arrogance is still there, polished now into something sleeker, but he's being nice and Danny is too tired to resist the help. Ben's presence stirs old memories of the last time she saw him, a flight to Minnesota years earlier when her mother came to visit Alec's father in the hospital. Alec hadn't wanted to see her then, hadn't written back to her since, and she'd sat beside Benji, unexpectedly comforted by his easy charm. That connection feels strange to remember now, standing in the snow with him, both of them older, pretending to be grown-ups. He teases her, offers to take her for a spin in his heated car, and she declines with a laugh. He learns she's moving in next door permanently and reacts with disbelief and excitement. "Well, that's fantastic news," he says. "Staying with Dad just got a lot more interesting." Danny can't tell if he's flirting or being smug, but his words hang in the air. As Ben leaves, her mother remarks that Benji boy got cute, teasing Danny about how smitten he still seems. Danny rolls her eyes, mortified, but before she can escape inside, a truck roars into the driveway, horn blaring, cutting through the quiet. Her laughter dies when she recognizes the man who climbs out. Grandpa McBosh. Once he was a legend, a hockey star, a hero, and her favorite person in the world. Then in one unforgettable moment at her grandmother's funeral, he told her parents to leave and never come back. Years had passed since then. Danny braces herself for his anger or maybe his tears, expecting some kind of reckoning after the long silence. Instead, he slams the door of his truck, storms up the walk, rants about the little shit blocking his driveway, and only then notices her. When their eyes meet, something cracks open in her chest, a flood of warmth, resentment, and longing all at once. And yet all he says is, "You got tall." That's it. No apology, no explanation. Just an awkward acknowledgement that she exists and that she's grown. It's so absurd that Danny can barely speak. Her mom and grandfather embrace like no years have passed, laughing and talking as though the man hadn't broken their family apart. Danny excuses herself under the pretext of grabbing more boxes, grateful for the cold air and the distraction of physical work. By the time they finish unloading, she's exhausted, frozen, and emotionally drained. All she wants is sleep, but her mother has other plans, dinner at the Barksiewskis. Danny's heart stops. The Barksiewskis, Alec's family. Her mother, cheerful and oblivious, announces that Alec's mom, Sarah, has cooked for them. Danny tries to protest. She's too tired, too messy, too unprepared, but the truth is simpler. She's not ready to see him, not after 5 years, not after the postcards stopped coming, not after wondering all this time why he'd disappeared. Her grandfather surprises her by offering to stay back with her and order pizza instead, a small, almost tender gesture, but her mom won't allow it. "Sarah invited you and she cooked," she insists. "We're going." So Danny climbs into the truck, heart pounding, the name Alec Barksiewski echoing in her head. Somewhere in that same town, he's about to find out she's back. Across town, Alec comes home from work to the smell of his mother's cooking and the chaos of a household that's always loud, always full. His shoulder aches, an injury he's been hiding, but all he wants is food and rest. That plan collapses when his mother casually mentions that the Bosches are coming over for dinner. For a moment he doesn't register what she means, then it hits him: Mick Bosch, Hannah, Danny. They're here in town tonight. Panic claws at his chest. He's not ready for this either. The last time he saw Danny she was his best friend, then there was no fight, no fallout, just silence. He stopped writing, he stopped answering, and now she's going to walk into his house like nothing happened. His mother chatters happily as his father's friends, Doug, Ed, Andy, wander in, half invited, half ignored like usual. When they hear Mick Bosch is coming, they act like celebrities are arriving, arguing with Alec's mom to let them stay. She forbids it, but no one listens. Everyone in Southview idolizes Mick Bosch, the hockey legend who vanished from public life, and now somehow he's coming to dinner at their house. For Alec, though, the problem is Mick, it's Danny. He drags himself downstairs, checking on his 5-year-old twin brothers, trying to focus on anything but the growing ache in his shoulder and the anxiety building in his chest. His father, still limping from old injuries, greets him warmly, joking about Alec's hockey game the night before. But Alec's responses are short, his mind elsewhere. When he finally escapes to the shower, the hot water only sharpens the dread. The speaker starts playing a song that used to belong to them, him and Danny, and he can't shut it off fast enough. He's angry at himself for caring, angry that his body is betraying him with pain, angry that she's coming here now when his whole life feels off balance. In the middle of that spiral, his phone buzzes with a text, a party invitation from a friend, a bonfire, everyone will be there. He's not supposed to go, he's on thin ice literally and figuratively with his coach and his injury, but the temptation flickers. Anything to numb out, anything to forget what's waiting downstairs. What neither of them says out loud, but both feel, is that their stories have always been entangled. Danny's return to Southview isn't just a relocation, it's a collision course with the past. The boy who stopped writing, the grandfather who shut the door, the town that holds every version of who they used to be. Danny, full of sarcasm and wounded nostalgia, braces herself for the moment she'll see Alec again, half dreading, half hoping that the connection that once defined her childhood might still exist beneath the silence. Alec, nursing his injuries and regrets, braces himself for the same, terrified that one look at her will undo years of pretending he didn't care. Outside, the snow keeps falling. The town is buried in ice, but something is beginning to thaw.